Chapter 6. Larecia. I hardly got any sleep that night. I kept seeing Marcus looking at me, smiling with that $1,000,000 look he kept giving me. He might have been trying to get my attention, but I definitely needed a hair and nail appointment first. Then I could hit him with my sexy red Donna Karan dress. I've been waiting for a special night to wear it. All I can say is be careful what you wish for. It had been a really long time since I had been with a man. My sexless life was really beating on my last nerve. Nothing will be better than Marcus in my bed, I thought, as I looked through my closet for something to slip on. The morning sun was starting to push through my bedroom blinds. I need my morning coffee. That was one of my only addictions. I pulled my black silk robe off of the back of my door and headed for the kitchen. My hair appointment was at 11. It was 9, so I had time to take a shower and eat a little something. As I headed back to my bedroom, I saw a car pull up in the driveway of my apartment building. I saw a tall man get out with what looked like pink roses. I walked over and pulled back the curtain. Sure enough, that's what it was. He rang the doorbell. I pulled shut my robe and tied my belt. My hair was a mess, I thought. As I was trying not to think about it too much, the doorbell rang again. I took a breath and opened the door. "Hi, are you Larecia Jones?" he asked with a smile. His name tag said, "Heavenly Flowers." "Yes, that's me." "Then this is for you." He handed me these 24 pink flowers in the most beautiful vase. I set them down quickly, searched for the card. It was hanging from the back. I pulled the envelope. It read, "On my mind all the time. Can't wait to see you, Marcus." Now this man is in it to win it, I thought, as I smiled and looked for a place to put them. It had been a long time since a man really worked hard to treat me special. I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. I was going to make sure when he did lay his eyes on me that the Larecia he saw then would not hold a candle to the one he is going to see. The real me is someone a guy like Marcus would want to take home to Mama. I kept thinking about all the attention he was giving me. Was it all just to get in my pants? If it was, when it was time for me to put it down, I would make his toes curl. He will run to buy me a ring, and judging by the look of everything I've seen so far, it looks like he could afford a huge rock. I smiled as I looked at my bare-fingered left hand. The sad part was the only other ring that was ever offered to me was from, of all people, Billy. It was sweet, but he bought a ring even after I told him that the relationship we had was just not what I wanted right now. It was hard, but the last thing I wanted to do was be fake. Some women would have taken it, but I knew it took him his whole paycheck to buy me a ring. The hurt expression on his face is why, to this day, I keep him around. He keeps thinking we're going to be together one day. Now, don't get me wrong, I did give him a chance. The first time we tried to have sex was a total disaster. I brought some new Victoria's Secret lingerie. I had cooked a nice dinner, steak, baked potato, broccoli, hot butter rolls, and a bottle of white Zinfandel wine. I told him what time dinner would be ready. He comes late, wearing the oil-stained jeans that he works on his car in, a polo shirt that looked like he bought it at Walmart. It still had the folds in it where he didn't take time to iron it. Now tell me, who can be ready to have sex after that? Sometimes you just have to cut to the chase. He's the wrong man. When we finally did have sex, watching the morning news would be more exciting. He didn't take his time. He rushed only to get his. and fall asleep after leaving me disappointed, and that was enough to say I won't ever do that again. Now, Marcus, if his smashing game is as good as what I've already seen, well, I could be the next Mrs. Marcus Walker, I thought to myself as I headed for the shower. I had so much to do today before my date. My cell started to play. I stopped in my tracks and ran to make sure it wasn't Marcus. To my surprise, it was my cousin, Jackson. He was my favorite cousin from my dad's side of the family. He was in the Navy, so I was shocked to see him call. "Hello, Jackson," I said excitedly. It had been 2 years since we had seen each other. "Hey, Tweet, how are you, cuz?" he said with a southern accent. He was born and raised in Alabama. His dad, Uncle Cliff, and my dad, Ray, were brothers. They would come and visit twice a year in Illinois. Jackson always had my back. He would send me money when my life was upside down, and I had nowhere to turn. He wouldn't hesitate to wire me money to pay late bills. He was always rescuing my ass. To this day, he's never said I owed him anything, even after the many times he's been there for me. "Well, I was going to be there in an hour. I was hoping you could pick me up." "Sure, cuz, I'll be there," I said, forgetting all about the other things I had to do, even my day with Marcus, for a split second. "I'll text you my flight and number so you can find me." "See you soon," he said, before it hit me. I have a date. Shit. I slapped my head. What was I thinking about? I knew Jackson would understand, but I just couldn't leave him hanging. Hell, he just paid my rent 5 months ago when I was short. As much as I was looking forward to a date with Marcus, he was going to have to wait. Blood is always thicker than water, right? I was slightly confused, though, trying to rationalize the whole thing.